Sweet Sea in Burleson, Texas can handle all of your graphic needs. Need a banner or promotional products for your business? They got you covered. T-shirts and caps for your group. All you need to figure out is if you want them screen printed or embroidered. How about some slick graphics on that hot ride to make you stand out from the crowd? Accelerated Graphics and Signs can handle anything you throw at them. Located at 101 East Renfro Street, Sweet Sea in Burleson, Texas, go in and see them. Call them at 817-991-0523 or reach them on the web at www.acceleratedgraphics.net. They are loud and proud and want to serve you. Accelerated Graphics.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Out of deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleburne, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleburne, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leach Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson in Cleburne, Texas. Leach Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry-out, and all your catering needs.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
All right, guys. Guess what? It's time for the Jobfather.
Woo!
Hey, Tina. Hey, Nikki. Can you hear me okay? I see.
Yes, I can. I was just making sure I was muted. Yeah.
Hey, Nikki. Guys,
hey.
Welcome to
Tina.
Jobfather, Jobseeker Community Radio. We are streaming radio, so people all over the country, hello. I am the Jobfather. I'm Foster Williams, and I am not the Jobfather without Dana Gingerich, my co-host. She is the recruiter that, oh, I like that hair. She got a new hair. Check it out. Go, girl. And so we are blessed today. We've got Nikki Wilson with us. She is the Chief Talent and Culture. You guys hear that?
Culture. I like it.
at the Richards Group, my number you guys know about the Richards Group. Nikki's going to tell us all about the Richards Group today. And during the first part of our show, our first half, and then the second half of the show, we're going to have a job seeker. We're going to have Joelle Frye that is going to be with us. And Joelle is a very senior level operations person, operations leader. She's been VP, she's been director. So we want to start off with our friend Nikki. I love Nikki. I met Nikki at our HR Career Search Network group that meets first and third Wednesdays. But when I met Nikki, we were meeting every Wednesday, Dana. And Nikki, you guys can go and check out Nikki. Tiffany just put Nikki's link up, and you guys can connect with Nikki because she's going to tell us a lot of things. You know what? Nikki was with General Motors for years. I used to live in Arlington, so when I met Nikki, she said she lived in Arlington, and I already felt the connection there. And so Nikki's at the Richards Group now through much networking, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the Richards Group, and she's going to tell us a little bit how the network worked for her. So Nikki, tell us about anything. Let us know about the Richards Group. There's a lot. Oh my God, there's a lot of people listening.
Yeah. Good. Can you hear me, Foster?
Can hear you just fine.
Okay, great. TGIF, everyone.
Yeah.
Glad we survived the ice and the cold and all that good stuff and made it to the end of the week. So yeah, the Richards Group, we're going by TRG at this point, is one of the largest independent advertising agencies in the U.S. It's an agency that is nonprofit owned and people run. We've been fiercely independent for a really long time, since our founding, and that's about 4 decades of building iconic brands. So it's a full service advertising agency, and we're all about encouraging new voices and fostering diversity, inclusivity, and we're located in Uptown.
Wow. Sounds like a great organization.
I didn't know that about the Richards Group. I didn't know that they were owned and operated the way that they are. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's our unique
impact.
Position. Yep, our unique positioning.
Yeah, you guys check out the Richards Group. So Nikki, being the Chief Talent Officer, is there any priority positions with your company that you would like to mention or drive job seekers to go check out?
Absolutely. Yeah. So a couple of areas. One, if I've got any creatives out there, shout out to you. We have some kind of senior creative needs, more on the copywriting as well as the art side. We also have needs in our analytics and insights. So obviously that's a big area that's come onto the scene here recently, trying to utilize data to help us make better decisions. So we're standing up that discipline. And so we have some needs actually for a head of analytics and insights, but I think we'll be looking for some other individuals to help round that team out. And then just on our account services side, we have some early career, that's what I like to call it, early career positions that we're looking to help support our clients in growing and developing their brands. And then it seems like we're always looking for folks on the digital media, as well as the strategy and brand planning side. So we've got some opportunities out there. So if you're looking, please direct yourself to the richards.com career section.
So exciting.
It is.
Nikki, tell us a little bit about, you were with GM for a long time. And as I'm scratching my face here, oh my God. So you were with GM for a long time. And then tell us how the network, what are some of the things that you noticed about our network while you were going through that helped you land your position?
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I think first of all, I was just like floored by all of these networks that were out there that I didn't know about when I was working. And I'm like, I got to try to stay connected and stay somewhat active, even though I'm working. So I think that was probably my first surprise. It just, all the dynamic speakers and counsel and advice from you, Foster, and Pete, and so many others, willing to, to pay it forward, pay it back, however you want to call it. Spending one-on-one time, I don't know. I don't know how to say thank you enough for all that you and so many, Dana yourself, do to help those that are in career search and transition. And I think the other thing that was really great is like, if you got connected to one group, then it seems like somehow you got connected to the next group. They're like, well, have you heard of this group, right? Well, you know, so it's all about paying it forward and helping one person every day. And so I truly felt the love, felt the support from many in the job when I was in job search.
Oh, that's awesome. Great. Thank you.
So, Nikki, did you find it networking with other job seekers that didn't have jobs? Did you find that positive in your search?
Absolutely, because one, I still keep up with you know, a good number of people that I met during transition. Because sometimes now that you land, it's like, hey, do you have a template? Or hey, do you know this? Or hey, you know, right? So still tapping into that network. But I found that so valuable, one, because we all in it together and we can help each other, right? And so somebody may say, well, have you heard of this? Or I got a job lead. It may not be something I'm interested in, but pass it on to somebody else. Or, hey, let me give you some feedback. I kind of been there, done that. And so I found so many people who were willing to give a helping hand that was so encouraging and uplifting to me. And I know I tried to do that in return for others.
Tiffany,
absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
Go, Dana. Go. I talk too much.
Well, Tiffany, you know, being that you're in the career field that you're in, I know that you would be an expert in terms of what it looks like from your side of the table when acquiring talent, and also what it feels like being on the other side of the table looking for the right opportunity. What advice do you have? Maybe 2 or 3 pieces of advice for job seekers, being that you have the experience of being on both sides of the table like those of us in talent acquisition do, that can help give them a little piece about their search and understand the market right now?
Sure. I would say, you know, one, I think it's really important, and I know people have probably heard this about, you know, being active, and I'll just say being active and being present. What I mean by that is whether you're on LinkedIn and you're commenting, you're curating content, you're posting, like, if you're going to do it, like, do the doggone thing, right? And be active and be out there. The other thing when I say about being active, like if you're attending a lot of, you know, different webinars and workshops, and get a lot of great information and workshops that are available, like be present and be active, right? And I'm not saying like, hey, look at me, but there were times where I would be on a workshop and I'm participating, but I'm engaging in the chat, I'm asking questions. And somebody would, you know, afterwards maybe reach out to me, or somebody be like, hey, I saw you commented on this. You know, hey, maybe you know, I should connect you with this person. Right. So I would say definitely, if you're going to do it, make sure you do it and be active and be engaged in whatever that forum may be. The other thing is making sure you really understand your strength, your values, and what you bring to the table, and really not being afraid to toot your own horn and talk yourself up. Whether that is reaching out to somebody you don't know, but like quickly, you know, letting them know, hey, what it is that you plan to bring to the table. I think so many people are willing to help. You just have to be able to reach out and kind of figure out those connection points. And then don't be afraid to stand out. I recently was helping a friend who runs a nonprofit, and they had a bunch of resumes. And I was like, wow, these resumes are stand out. Wow, these videos, the people's websites. So don't be afraid to figure out, how are you going to separate yourself in a very saturated market? So maybe it's sometimes I get the bomb videos from people who just want to come and shadow in the agency, or I don't know, little GIFs or different things. So like in this flooded market, what is it about you that is going to draw somebody's attention in? And then how do you convey that? Again, whether it's an emoji, it's a GIF, I don't know, maybe it's a TikTok video, it's something, but what is it that you're going to do to stand out from really your competition?
Yeah, that is great information. Absolutely. Anything we can do to stand out, to show proactivity. And I agree, utilizing LinkedIn, whether you're posting on LinkedIn, but at minimum, making sure that you have an effective, updated LinkedIn profile that is thoroughly completed, and the system will walk you through that. And making sure your resume is in alignment with what you have on LinkedIn, I find always helps as well.
Yeah, that relevance has to be there. If you are applying for a specific job, make sure. Let me get closer to the computer. Make sure, guys, that you're expressing your experience in the areas that they're looking for. I know we've all had wonderful careers, but you know what? We're here to talk about what Nikki's company is looking for, and the job posting that you're applying to. We want to focus on that. We want to let them know what our experience is in those fields.
Yeah.
Nikki is the chief talent officer, so you really got to impress Nikki.
And you know what, Foster, I occasionally, just like I'm sure others, in my position, will get people that reach out to them that want to connect. They want to talk. They want to understand a little bit more about what's happening at the Richards Group. And hey, if you're reaching out, and whether it's about an internship or a full-time opportunity, if you've taken the effort, at least it's worthy of a response, right? And an opportunity to connect. And so when people do that, I'm like, you know what? Again, I feel it's my obligation to at least respond and see if there's a way that we can connect. And if I can't help you, if your interests are the Richards Group, is there something else that I can do to help somebody else along the way?
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, is helping everybody along the way. It's just like Nikki said, you guys, you got to get out and participate. God will bless us in like he promises that he will. And you know what? The biggest part that I have seen the job search is just participating. Get out. When you're talking to 20, 25 people on a Zoom, if you're in a room with we've had groups before that have had 400 people each week before, you will meet somebody, you will hear something that you have an affinity for. And you know what? You should get to know that person. I know we're all not as gregarious as the Jobfather here. And I think Dana's more gregarious than I am. But if you expose yourself to the information, there will be something that you want to dig in a little bit more with. And that person definitely will be Nikki if you guys meet Nikki in a networking situation. And I think that is what is most important in job search, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. Foster, I don't know if there's a question from Joelle about how you can help them and solve their problems. I don't know if that was directed towards me.
That's a question for us. Yeah.
Okay. So I just believe in asking folks when I have those conversations, like, how can I help you? What it is that you're looking for? Sometimes it's someone who's looking for a freelance opportunity and they're not really looking to join. They have their own business. So I ask them, okay, well, let me get you connected to our production folks. Let me see if I can get you, connected into the database. Sometimes it's individuals who are looking for internships, and we may have a little bit of a career conversation and making sure it's something they're looking to do. So I really just ask them, just be honest, to tell me straight up what it is that you're looking for. Let's talk about the opportunities that we have. Does that seem to be a fit? Let me tell you about the culture. Let me tell you about how we're refounding ourselves, and to see if that is something that is of interest. So I just believe in asking people exactly how can I help them? And then we kind of go from there in terms of solution building and seeing if there's a way I can help make a connection, or even like, hey, send me your resume. I'll take a look at your resume if that's something that you want me to do. Send me your portfolio or your website. And so then just asking them what is it that I can do to be of service to them.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Joelle asked a really good question. And there are some wonderful people that have joined us. I see my neighbor Carol on there.
Hey,
Good morning, Carol. And you know what? And Kevin Ty's with us, and Ray DeShong is with us. Ray, I hope to see you soon. Ray just landed a job. Yay.
Oh,
congratulations. Yay.
Yeah, details later about, next week we'll talk more in detail about Ray's landing, and it's a little bit outside of what she's done in the past, so it's really exciting. So I'm glad to see you guys with us. And Ray is a good friend of mine because she has there's Sharon Luckage. Good morning, Sharon. Wait a minute, is it still morning? Yeah, it's still morning. Good morning, Sharon. Sharon Luckage You know, Nikki, I would strongly suggest, as I'm jumping around, I would strongly suggest that you and Sharon Luckage connect on LinkedIn.
Will do. Will
Yeah,
do.
Sharon is the Sharon works for the Thomas Edwards Group, and she's one of the principals. So she's one of the big bosses. And Sharon has the spirit of networking, like me, you, and Dana, and you know, a lot of other people we have. And Sharon is such a big help. I cannot tell you. And so you know how I've got to be the job father. I got to make sure that there. Joelle Frye said Sharon is awesome. Absolutely. And I'm the job father, so I got to connect the best people and suggest that you guys connect, you know, and nothing else. Hey, go get some barbecue together. I'll go with y'all.
Barbecue is always a good reason to get together.
That's right.
Yes. Foster, at some point, I'm going to have to get you some Kansas City barbecue. Remember we talked about that?
You know, we talked about that, Nikki. Now, you guys hear what's going on? We share things, and the things that we share build relationships. And when Nikki was with us in the job search, she told me about Kansas City barbecue. She used to have a lot of connection with Kansas City barbecue, and so we're going to talk about that. I have had Kansas City barbecue when I worked for Verizon, when I worked for IBM. Kansas City area was one of my many areas that I was responsible for. I had recruiters that worked in those areas, and you know what? We went to Gates. Up there.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, Nikki, what's the other place other than Gates? What's that other place that's so famous up there?
Here we got Foster Squirrel.
There we go. I will get off the subject real quick.
So the other place that's pretty famous now is like people like Jack Stacks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It used to be Hayward's, but I think they've gone out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be Arthur Bryant's. I don't know if Arthur Bryant's is still around. Yeah.
Arthur Bryant's is old one. Ooh, man.
I know. I think I just dated myself. So Jack Stacks is pretty popular right now. I think that's the one you may be referring to.
At this time, my favorite barbecue sauce comes from the Kansas City area. Cookies barbecue sauce. And it's the best barbecue sauce, hands down. And it's Kansas City style. And I've never tasted anything better. It is so good.
Yeah. Now, guys, you guys didn't know that Job Search was about barbecue. There's a number.
Get your barbecue on.
Coffee. It can be about barbecue because you know what happens when we go to barbecue, when we go to coffee, we get to talk and get to know each other and build those relationships.
Yeah.
And some people you should never, guys, some people you should never lose contact with, no matter where their job is, where they go.
Yeah.
Some people you want to keep up with. It's my fully intention, and I'm fully intention, that's what I'm trying to say, to keep up with Nikki. And not just because Nikki's real important, because Nikki and I connected and got along when she was in her job searching. We both, I used to live in Arlington and everything. So there's a lot of areas that
it's a privilege to have you on the show.
Well, I appreciate being asked on the show. You all do so much for so many others. I mean, it's like, as Foster said, the least I could do when I met Foster. I was like, where have I been? I've been under a rock all this time. So it was a pleasure to get connected to Foster and so many others. So really appreciate all you all do. It's a blessing to be a blessing.
It really is, isn't it? It really is. And I would like to, guys, you know what? I'd like to take a brief moment to pray for what's going on overseas with Russia and Ukraine and all that stuff. Father God, we are a faith-based ministry. We come to you and we're asking that everybody gets a job. And we're also asking that everything that's going on over in the Ukraine right now, that you get involved with that and you make things go the way that you see fit for them to go. And we're lifting it up to you because we trust you more than we trust ourselves. You are driving this car and we're riding. So we're just asking for your help with everything in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Tiffany,
go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, no problem. I know you had mentioned a couple of positions that you're recruiting for. I thought before we get to the top of the hour, I would also, or actually 11:30, I would also mention at Caris Life Sciences, we have a number and they're here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Oh, yeah.
We have a number. Hold on. My screen keeps shifting here. Okay, there we go. We have a number of exciting opportunities available. We have 2 amazing full-time talent acquisition professional positions with Caris Life Sciences. We focus on personalized treatments for people that are struggling with cancer. And we've been able to make a huge difference in many people's lives by looking at patients' RNA, DNA, protein, their molecular makeup, and making a targeted treatment recommendation. We also have some amazing billing operations opportunities with our organization. If you go to our website, www.carislifesciences.com, and go to the careers section, you can see we have probably close to 200 exciting openings right now, both here in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Phoenix, and some remote. So regardless of what part of the U.S. you're in, go take a look.
That's awesome, Dana. And Dana is going to be you guys' point of contact for Caris Life Sciences. So you guys make sure you connect with Dana on LinkedIn and send her that resume. If you guys see something that Dana is recruiting for, send that resume to Dana and tell her that you heard her, you saw her on the Jobfather, and you appreciate what she does. Dana brings a lot to the show.
Oh, thank you. And I'll make sure to get you connected with the right people. And I know by the end of the show, we'll share our LinkedIn handles, but definitely connect with us on LinkedIn. And if anybody has sent me a message in the last week or so, I've had some major projects going on, but I promise I will catch up with you and respond.
Absolutely, you will. I know you're good about that. You're a good recruiter. I was a good recruiter, I think. I moved into management, then I moved away from recruiting, even though I was still involved in recruiting. But it was really, really fun. And so, guys, there's another thing I want to tell you guys about. I am a strong proponent of Frisco Connect and the South Lake Focus Group. I think Nikki got involved with South Lake Focus Group when she was before she had her wonderful job that she's got right now. I want to encourage you guys to go to southlakefocusgroup.com. That is southlakefocusgroup.com. And check it out. And we meet every Thursday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. And you might want to get there at 7:30 and network. We're meeting in person, and we're doing a hybrid. We're meeting in person, and we meet on Zoom for folks that are across the country. And we don't talk about we talk about good job search advice and things that will work anywhere you are. We don't just talk about jobs that are right here in Texas and all that stuff. So check out South Lake Focus Group. I also want you guys to utilize careerdfw.org. careerdfw.org, and that tells you everything that's going on. So you can find Frisco Connect and the information for Frisco Connect. We meet every first and third Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. You guys can find that. We are not meeting in person yet. We are still all Zoom. So you can join us from even if those people that are on the moon, if you guys are on the moon and Mars, the 2M places, you can join us.
It's a cool opportunity.
Good to see you with us, and make sure you join us too.
Yeah. And I can say I have been very impressed with the individuals that lead the South Lake Focus Group and Frisco Connect. I've been blessed to speak at both groups, and incredible networking opportunities, incredible individuals, and excited to say we see time and time again people land phenomenal opportunities. It's all about who you know. It really is.
It is all about who you know. And you guys make sure and watch the Who You Know Job Networking Show every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. I appreciate you giving me that plug. We are probably going to start to hear music very soon, guys. When we hear music, I'm going to jump off. Thank you, Nikki, for being with us, even though the music's not here yet.
Yeah.
And,
do you want me to sing, Foster?
If you want to sing, you go
I'm
right
just
ahead.
I would love it. No, I'm like, yes, sing.
I know. That's the thing. I don't think Dana, but I was like, you need a little filler. Like I can do culture, I can do sing. No, I'm just kidding.
Love it. I love it. You're my favorite guest.
No wonder Nikki was hired as chief.
She's amazing.
that culture officer thing too. I'm going to have Nikki back with us because I want her to tell us about the chief culture officer, that part of her job that she has over at Richard's Group as well. So Nikki, we're going to have you back on the show a little bit later on. I'll be with you to see if we can get that together.
Absolutely.
Maybe I can join y'all for some barbecue.
That would be great. That would be great.
Kansas City barbecue.
I will make that. I will make that happen. Well, at least definitely make the sauce happen. I don't know about how to get the barbecue down here, but I'm sure there's a will, there's a way. There's a will, there's a way. Yes.
Oh, Dana and I got plenty of will.
Yeah, we do. Road trip.
Road trip.
Oh, cool.
That would be cool. I hadn't been up there in so long. That would be really, really fun to do.
That would.
All right. I hear music. So, guys, we are going to go to commercial, and we will be back with Joelle Frye. We're having some technical difficulties, so if Joelle's not with us when we come back, we're going to keep talking to me and Dana.
That's right. We'll be here.
Scholarship
Thanks,
too.
Tiffany.
I'm so proud of him. You know, I have to be honest. I'm a bit worried about our daughter getting into college. It's so competitive out there, and I feel overwhelmed with where to start. I completely understand. Listen, I felt the same way. And then I met Dr. Gina of Education Prep Centers. She put a plan in place that helped our son stand out in the admissions process and that gave us a peace of mind for how to create a financial roadmap for his future. Wow, that's great. Sounds like I need to give her a call. Yes, she definitely helped our son find the perfect college, meet all his deadlines, and help us feel less anxious about the whole process. You need to reach out. Complimentary assessment with Dr. Gina. I'll be so glad you did. Education Prep Centers. College admissions made easy.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson, 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Okay, guys, we're back on the Jobfather, and I have to apologize as we're having some technical difficulties, and Joelle Frye is not with us yet. The link is not letting her in yet, so we still got Nikki. So why don't we continue talking with Nikki? Nikki, do you have time? Do you have to run away?
I do not. I'm good.
Perfect. Nikki, I had alluded before we went to commercial, I had alluded to you talking a little bit about the culture. Part of your job, Chief Culture Officer. And tell us a little bit about, if you would, tell us a little bit about the culture at Richard's Group and maybe some of the things that you feel like you want to affect in the culture.
Yeah. So, it's like a real fancy title, but it's really making sure that, everyone that comes to TRG has a great employee career experience, that they feel welcome, they feel valued, they feel as if they belong and that they have a voice. And so that's really making sure that they feel uplifted and they feel connected to what we're doing as part of the agency's growth and strategic initiatives. So making sure that all their touch points along the way are meaningful, that they're impactful, And so there's a lot of different things that we're working on as part of the culture. One is making sure that we have lots of good feedback forms for people to make sure that their voices are heard, right? Doesn't matter what your experience, your tenure, your level, right? That we brought people in, we chose them for a very important reason. And so we want to hear their perspective, and we want that diversity of thought that comes when you truly embrace and make everyone feel as if they do have a place in terms of decision making, conversation, that kind of thing. So one of the feedback forms are really important. So we do that quite often through engagement surveys and different feedback forms, small group, focus groups. We have this open office environment, which many people do, but it's like truly like it's all out. Everyone's kind of sitting out and open, and so that we can hopefully encourage that type of collaboration that kind of happens organically when we're together. The other part of the culture is also just kind of like having a little bit of fun too, right? And not just coming in like making ads. Like ads are really cool, and coming up with game-changing campaigns are important for our clients, but also that people feel a sense of togetherness and a sense of belonging and a sense of purpose in what we do for kind of the greater good of the community in which the agency is situated in. So I can't give enough props to our employee resource groups that are very involved in a number of different initiatives and partnerships with community organizations, everything from like feeding the homeless and coat drives and backpack drives, and just really helping to champion the next generation of creativity. So we've been doing some things at the high school as well as the kind of post high school and collegiate level. And then just some things that are just fun that we enjoy doing, whether they're just like breakfasts together, getting together after we go volunteer. And then making sure that we, so that's kind of one piece of the culture. And then the other part, I think, of the culture is also just making sure people understand they have a path forward in terms of professional and career development. So we're revamping our mentoring program, and we're looking at reverse mentoring, or I like to think of it as like co-mentoring. So there's just a lot of things that we're doing to really make the culture one that we feel good about, one that we're proud of, and one that people can thrive within.
Nikki, I love it because go ahead, Dane. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Tiffany, how did you, I'd like to find out, for those people that might be interested in this type of a career path, how did you fall into, culture and that type of a role, building culture within an organization? And what would you recommend to people that maybe are in talent acquisition or HR and would be interested in that type of a career path?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Make sure I didn't lose you guys. Talking about technical difficulties as a result of my battery not being plugged in. I would say, gosh, good question. I think there's ways that you can be involved without like necessarily having to kind of pursue the HR path. Now, if you want to be an HR person, like I say, bring it on. I welcome it. But we have like leadership. There's sometimes like there's leadership roles, like leadership councils or diversity councils or employee councils. And that's a way to get involved and help to help shape and transform the culture through a lot of the things that they're working on. Sometimes it's a matter of reaching out. I mean, I think if someone came to me and said, "Hey, what are you working on in the talent and culture space? I'm interested. I'd love to help." I think any head of HR, people officer, engagement person would be like, "Yes, bring it on," right? So I don't know that you have to like necessarily be a part of that department or part of that group to be a part of what's going on. But certainly if you want to be a part of it and you want, you don't have to have an HR background. You can have a business background. You can have a technical background, right? It's just a matter of wanting to be able to touch employees and be able to impact the organization in a positive way. And so I would say definitely reach out to someone either in those roles to learn more, or if you're already a part of an organization, thinking about maybe shadowing or getting involved in a project so that you can learn more, as well as to diversify your background and portfolio, so that when you are thinking about different opportunities, different roles, again, I think you've just really increased your value in the things that you've brought to the company.
Oh yeah, Nikki, one thing that I love that you do is that because I'm talking to people all the time, Nikki is sharing the network, guys. And you don't have to be a leader. No matter where you are, you can share the network and the wins and how the network works, and you to be able to find the accurate job, not just another job. And we got a victory with us right now because Joelle joined us, and
Hey, Joelle.
there is
I had
not
to
a person
kick my
in the
husband out of
whole
his office.
network. In the whole network, I am not convinced that there is another person that has shared and done more for the network than Joelle Frye. I am a huge Joelle Frye fan.
Welcome, Joelle.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can hear you just fine. This is the Jobseeker Spotlight, and corporations out there, you recruiters, you hiring managers, I want you during this section of the show, we call it the Jobseeker Spotlight. And guess what? Joelle is our job seeker. And well, Nikki's gone. I didn't mean to run her off.
Yeah.
But, no, there she is. There she is. Perfect. I always want Nikki to stick around. But Joelle, tell us a little bit about your leadership. Has been in operations. You've been in logistics. You know all of that sort of thing. So tell us about you.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much. I am honored to be on this program with you guys, being able to engage and interact. And, you know, Foster, you've been a godsend to a lot of people for a lot of years. Dana, I'm just now getting to know you, but you're amazing too. So I am very honored to be here. And some of what I do is directly based upon what I have learned and the way that Foster pays it forward. So I have to be just as energetic about that as he is, which is impossible. But anyway, you know, from a leadership perspective, it's interesting because I think that everybody is a leader, whether you're tuned into that side of yourself or not. But we're all leaders because in my mind, leadership is taking the sum of your experiences, learning the lessons you need to learn from them, but then you're compelled, I think, to, you know, make somebody else's life benefit from that. Be a positive influence. Take what you have learned and then help others with it. So I've come into that season of my career. I'm a seasoned employee. Let's put it that way. I've been in the job market. I've been
That's
in
a
the
good
job
word,
world
Joelle. I like that.
for many, many decades. So as a card carrying AARP member, it's an interesting time to be in the job search. Yes, my background is in operations, distribution. I've done transportation and logistics, but you know, the bottom line is I am passionate about operating, changing processes, making things better, and then having a positive impact in people's lives. So I've worked in many different industries, if you will, but what I love to do is look at a process, fix a process, make it better, more efficient, develop key customer relationships.
There it is. I was waiting on that.
You knew that was coming. And bring people along so that they can achieve bigger, better, bigger, better, bigger, better, always. So I've done a lot of firefighting in my life, but executive operational firefighting, if you will. So if something goes sideways, something blows up, a lot of times they call me and I can fix it. And I love to be able to fix things, but in this version of my career, I really want to be able to go somewhere and see what needs to be fixed, put a plan in place, execute against that plan, and then take it to the next level. So kind of squirreling a little bit, you know, here and there, but have done everything. I'm a sports fan, so I kind of see myself as a five-tool player, if you will, from baseball. I've done sales, I've done customer service, I've done, you know, key client relationship building, operations, distribution, warehousing, all of it, metrics, accountability, and, you know, find myself really gravitating towards the operational sides of things, the distribution sides of things, the nuts and the bolts of making something better, which can then benefit a company and our client base, because we're nothing without our clients, but we're also nothing without our people. So you got to tie it all together.
That's right. What I like about you, Joelle, what I like about you. Now, I'm not going to sing. I'm sorry. I don't want to tell you guys how long I've been recruiting, but you recruiters and you hiring managers out there, you guys want to have a person like Joelle on your team because she has also been involved in business development. Now, I feel that in business development, if you're building that business with a company, you're building those relationships. That's the number one thing that what the company is buying is Joelle. And so in doing so, they're going to tell you what they need. They're going to tell you how they do it, all that sort of thing. And then Joelle's operational end kicks in. Now, I have known Joelle for a while, and I happen to know as a recruiter that whatever a person does with me is what they're going to offer their clients and everything else. We're endowed with gifts from God. And Joelle, I can tell you guys that you definitely want Joelle to be one that is involved with your client, directly involved with your clients.
Yes, I've been lucky to be pulled into some situations where the client relationship was strained or challenged or honestly almost broken. And on multiple occasions, I've been pulled in to try and turn it around. And that was the goal. It's like, look, it's going sideways, get it back on track. Yep. And I've been able to do that. And key to that is being able to actively listen, right? You have to pay attention to what the company is saying, what the company's aspect of the business situation is. And then you have to get with the customer and do exactly the same thing. Yeah. And you have to find out where the disconnects are. So it's very much a relationship, relational, interaction and reaction. You find out where things are consistent and aligned, and you find out where those things are not consistent and aligned, and that's where you focus. So you put the processes together, you put the metrics together, you put the visibility together so that you can then collaborate and partner. A lot of companies and a lot of customers do not understand what that word means. Partner together to come up with a solution that works. So identifying the problem, finding out how to get through that problem and fix it. And then you go back and say, hey, did we do what we needed to do? And make it right for the future. And then you can grow and develop, increase the business, increase the scope. It truly is a win-win. And those do exist if you're willing to take the time and the effort to create that connection, understand what is really going on, and then address it head on.
Absolutely. There's one thing that, of course, I got something to say about that. But job seekers, as you guys are interviewing the companies, make sure that that's happening in interview. And Nikki will tell you the interview process is a two-way street. You want to ask those questions. We've all been endowed with gifts from God. We all know what has worked in our career. Dana and I talk about this all the time as we're talking about candidates and things for certain jobs. But the candidate, the job seeker, you guys want to make sure in that interview that you find out and you ask questions to figure out whether the company is going to restrict you from doing the very thing that they want you to do and doing it in the way that you have had experience that it has worked in the past. You want to definitely ask those questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of value in that. Sometimes I think job seekers forget that they're interviewing the company just as much as the company is interviewing them.
Yes.
And making a good decision on where to be, impacts your every day. And I mean, obviously we can't read into a crystal ball per se, but we can try to make good decisions, ask the right questions, and really get to know or observe the different leaders we're interviewing with, kind of their style of leadership, their approach, and ask the right questions.
I totally agree.
I'm really impressed with your background. And for those, I mean, you will be an asset to any organization. I can see that you have a huge strength, not only in communication, but building relationships and bringing people together and providing solutions. If you were to think about some of the top types of positions that you would be most passionate about, what would those types of roles entail?
At this point, I believe I don't need to chase a corner office. I don't necessarily want to, but I want to be able to contribute fully. And I think that is at a senior director, potentially VP level. I think in that realm is a sweet spot for me. It would be an operations position. It would be a key customer development or key customer service position. So I love the client engagement aspect of things and making sure that the relationships we have internally and externally with the clients are maintained. That is through process. That is through, communication, and that is through developing our people. So not a simplistic answer. Sorry about that.
That makes sense. Thank you for clarifying that.
Absolutely. Cindy Copeland is with us. And some of you guys, Joelle, you have, being that you have been involved with South Lake Focus Group, you may have crossed paths with Cindy Copeland in the past, but she is a very, very good friend of mine. She says, I come with a list of questions for the company, as well as looking up the hiring manager on LinkedIn. So I know a little bit about the hiring manager. When you get to that point to where you find out who that hiring manager is going to be, because developing these, let me get close to it, relationships.
Yep.
Relationships.
No, I love that. And it's so important, I think, when I was hiring people and when I am interviewing, if you come with, thoughtful intentions, man, that's amazing. I loved it as a hiring manager because it meant somebody was really going to that next level to try and think about this and really make it work for them and understand what we do. It is so much a two-way street. You as a job seeker at this point, it is incredibly important the type of organization I go to as to whether I'm going to be happy, productive to the extent I can be. So I am asking all kinds of questions about her and how people operate and, all kinds of questions to make sure that this is an environment that is going to sustain and fulfill and nurture me. Because if I'm fulfilled and nurtured, Katie, bar the door, get out of the way. I'm just going to be,
we don't
stay at jobs that we don't enjoy. Everybody else around me, and that's great.
Yeah, we don't stay at those jobs we don't enjoy.
Say hi to Kristen out there, and who's putting in comments. I love this.
Yeah, you're exciting.
Awesome. She says it's always shocked them that I've done my homework about the company. And you know what? I have had people that have done homework and told me things in interviews about my very own company I didn't even know. And you know what? That's impressive. That's getting my attention. That is something that I feel comfortable about moving you on to the next level. Another thing that job seekers like, we all roll our eyes in the head about this applicant tracking system. Let me tell you guys something. We have developed technologically towards a point to where companies have a lot of things they have to keep up with and audits and all that sort of thing. And these applicant tracking systems are an absolute must. No, they're not perfect. But when we apply online, we do go into the applicant tracking system. But you know what? We don't want to get lost in that thing. And what we do to not get lost in that thing is to network and develop. I was talking to a client of mine last night, applying for a certain company. Foster, do you know somebody in the company? They found a company that I didn't have a contact. So they said, what do we do now? I said, well, go and find a person on LinkedIn at that company and see if you have a common connection with that person that either can introduce you or you can have a talk with that person to find out how they know that person, how they're connected with that person. Being the Jobfather, I do this a lot when I find a company that I don't have a contact in. What y'all think I do? Come on, son. And so you find somebody that could be very close to that position that you're interested in, that department that you're interested in, and link in with them. See if they will get in the see if they take the time to get in a conversation with you. That most people will. We are, you know, people want to help. They want to help. You meet people like Nikki along the way. Nikki has helped so many people already.
Nikki's awesome.
This is the way the network works, guys. This is it.
Absolutely.
I don't want to take up all of Joelle's talk time. This is Joelle. We're talking about Joelle. We're not talking about Foster.
Yeah, but it all goes together. So, you know, if you're doing your homework and you're using, you know, all of the tools available to you, you know, it's finding the job. But as a job seeker, the onus is upon me to do some homework to make sure that my ducks are in a row, that I'm looking for those positions. I don't stop at just, you know, applying online because it doesn't work, and that's just not the best way to find what you're looking for. You go that extra step. You develop that network. You develop those relationships because it helps you get to where you want to be, which is employed again. But it also is a set of skills that, you know, I fear is becoming less utilized with some of the younger generation. It's very much a text-based, phone-based, whatever, but nothing will ever top a human connection. Right. So if you can pick up the phone, get on a Zoom, meet somebody face to face, and make that connection, that is automatically going to benefit you. Maybe not with this immediate interview or situation, but you know, it's a life skill that needs to be utilized and refined and worked and practiced and all of that stuff. So, you know, I have always felt that South Lake Focus Group, Foster, Who You Know Network, all of that has been an absolute blessing and benefit for all of us. Those of us who are seeking work and those who have gotten a job. I went back to the network when I was hiring, trying to find good people, because I know I'm going to find fantastic people, you know, within the network. So, you know, at this point, it's come back around and I'm now looking. So I'm going to continue to utilize that network. But, you know, this platform is amazing for me to be able to sort of let people get an idea for the type of energy I have, the type of person I am, and I try to be, and the help I try to give to others around me. So thank you again. You know, I'm looking for, you know, aerospace, potentially other manufacturing, maybe distribution areas. So, you know, I'm going to probably lean on all of you for input or thoughts or ideas, etc. But can't thank you guys enough. All of the notes I had made are in the other room with my computer that's not working. So I'm squirreling myself.
Computer works just fine. Hey, Joelle, look at what Sharon Luckett just said. Sharon is just absolutely phenomenal at all this. She says one of her favorite questions to ask candidates: ask the person that you're interviewing with, why did you come to work here, and why do you stay? And that is a question that I remembered one time we were talking to you before, Joelle. That was one of your questions that you like to ask in an interview. I remember that about you.
Absolutely, because if people can't tell you why they're there, it's a problem, and B, you know, but yes, it can be very, very telling. So, you know, what about this company makes you passionate to stay?
Absolutely. Hey, Nikki, what were some of the things that got you really, really excited about the Richards Group?
Yeah, a couple of things that got me excited were the people I met in the panel interview. It was probably about 7 or 8 individuals, and just them talking about. There was a lot. But it was very conversational. We were laughing. It went over, so it didn't really feel like an interview. So that told me a lot about, you know, how they felt about talent and onboarding talent and selecting talent. But they talked, you could just tell from the heart. And so it was just something special about the people and the passion that they have for what they do. I also thought it was a unique opportunity to take what I had learned in my time at GM and before, and apply it in helping to reshape and refound the agency and the culture. And so that was what I shared with them around, having that experience, having the tools to be able to come in. And I felt like be able to contribute it and have an impact. So that was the draw for me for the Richards Group.
Oh,
And then
I hear music, guys.
It's the end of the show.
We are at the end of our show. I thank you, Joelle. I thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
If there's any way Dana and I can help, you guys make sure and link with us on weekend.
Take care of
Thank you.
how hard it is
Bye,
getting that.
Joelle. Bye, Nikki.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody.